Alright guys, so I said that I would be contacting the CBOE and the OCC to get info on what's up with this float. Because you guys are clearly still being shaken out. This got cut down to $8.90. That's not even 50% of yesterday's high. $9. Yesterday's high is $18. To get back there, that's a 100% gain at this point because you guys just give it all up. There's another guy, Teddy Zane. I'm just on to him. He's been kind of mentioning me, and he's put out a video talking about stop losses, and you guys are getting owned. Flat out. They know it's on the exchange. They know your level. They know your stop, and they can cut you out. No problem. No problem. Cut you out. Take your shares, do a little covering, see what action comes into the play, rinse and repeat. You know what they can't do? Cut you out if you set your stop, or if you set yourself for $50 and they need your shares. They gotta pay you. Not financial advice. It's very frustrating to watch this. I had a couple people in the comments. Most people were like, didn't even care that I kind of had a couple messages out there, visibly, audibly frustrated. They understood. A couple people, we come here for answers. Well, whatever. I'm trying to, what I want to do with my channel is I say, teach you how to fish. I don't want to fish for you. Imagine we were birds and you were in a nest. I can be your buddy. I can be your friend, but I just want to kick you out of the nest and get you to fly. I can't fly for you. You're going to need, as an adult, to learn how to read filings and not come to YouTube for the answers. Come to YouTube to hear other people's thoughts, get their perspective, but also arm yourself with the tools to fact check those people yourself, not other people fact check. 9 people out of 10 could be wrong, and the one person that's right, who understands it, right, needs to be able to come forward and say, no, you've got that wrong. This is what's right. Okay? You can call the investors relations of any company. I've talked to the chief financial officer of a nickel mine in Canada after I got destroyed for 20G. I called him up and we had an hour-and-a-half discussion about what was going on. And he freely spoke to me. Just because you can call doesn't mean they'll talk to you. But I told him I'm a pretty big investor. I've got 100G into this play. I'd like to get some answers. And we talked to him. I talked to him. Okay, you can do that. You can call the CBOE. You can call the OCC. You can send emails. This is putting in the work. This money. It does not feel good to lose $20,000 in a day. I need answers. You guys, even if you've got a few hundred shares, you've lost significant enough money that you should be also looking for answers and not just keyboard warrioring and trying to find them via YouTube, right? I was stressing earlier like, you got to learn how to read a filing, and most of it's plain English. Which ones? Just one second. So, which forms are pretty important throughout the year? You've got your 10K. That's like an annual. 10Q, quarterly. Form 144, when some insiders want to sell some stocks or offerings. An amendment SEC filing is basically dotting I's, crossing T's, changing errors, typically not of utmost importance, okay? If it's 3 pages, it's probably not a big of importance, okay? So what we had earlier today, you need to learn that so that you can be educated. Education is empowerment. That's how you're going to become a better investor. That's how you're going to become wealthier and richer. Not with gambling. Not throwing it, hopium investing. That's what I call it, hopium, okay? A lot of these squeeze plays, they already squoze, past tense for squeeze, okay? They aren't squeezing again. I'm sorry, it isn't happening. Good luck. You might get a dead cat bounce, which is a sharp rise, followed by an even worse fall, okay? You might get that. Maybe you can get out on that if you're stuck in something. But by and large, if you missed the sell-off, you're now what is called a bag holder. Okay, so anyways, I had to get that out of the way, okay? Because I put out some videos earlier and I feel a little upset, disappointed in myself even, because I got a little angry or whatever, or emotional. But that's because I feel like after 16 months, retail should be accustomed to some of this stuff, and we should be way more informed than we are. So clearly, the guys that you were watching before for the last 16 months have not done a good job teaching you at all. Because this kind of shit wouldn't faze you. A tweet from Ortex wouldn't faze you. Knowing that a 230% short free float might turn into 130% or 115, that wouldn't really faze you. It's kind of annoying, but you're still over 100. These other plays, they're 20% SI. This is 862 cost to borrow. These things matter. Anyone who tells you they don't matter, they're full of shit. They're feeding you lies, and they're going short. Buying a put against the play. Selling short shares against the play. Okay? They do not have your best interest in heart. They want to create fear, and they want to get you to sell. I've had some people said they were getting out at 10 and shit. Now, getting out at 10 was not the time to get out. This morning, you could have shaved a bit. I said in my previous video, I shaved 40%. I still held 60%. I took a big-ass loss holding that 60%. Went from 1290 to 890. 33% dip. I'm still in that position because I protected myself from the majority of retail on a large portion of my position, 40%. But the majority I held, okay? And these are things you should be actively having ready. A wrench can come at any time, and unfortunately it came at us last night, coincidentally in the middle of a big-ass run-up. So, I've gone to the Liberty. I should have put this at the start of the video. I do apologize. Gone to the Liberty of screen capping. Okay, I'll flip the screen. It's going to be probably blurry, so you can see this is from the OCC. Okay, and she says, I'm just going to kind of wave it across, and I suppose you could pause it, and then I'm going to go back to me so I can just focus on reading this, okay? So in it, she says that the decision to list is made solely at exchange level. So kind of pointing fingers with the CBOE who told me to contact them. But then she goes on to list that there are the rules, and one of the rules is 7 million publicly held shares outstanding. So the caveat isn't tradable shares, it's just shares outstanding. And at 12.6, we obviously are over that. Okay, so they're allowed the options chain. Kind of to put that, questionable bit of info at bay. The interesting part of the email is she goes down and she goes, so per your question regarding the minimum 7 million, according to our data, the number of shares publicly available is 12.6, with 1.95 held by insiders. Now, I am 95% positive she meant 1.95 million shares outstanding, like for the free float. She just kind of had a mental slip. So I've emailed her and said, could you please re-clarify and double check that? I don't even know if that's something that's within her scope, but I just wanted to see if she replies and goes, yeah, that's what I meant. I meant free float 195. So she is mentioning 195. There's no mention here anyways, if ands or buts about 3.95 million. There's no mention of that. It's strictly still 195. So all of these people are getting their data from where? Right? From, I believe, S&P, who controls it, right? NASDAQ, Yahoo Finance, Fintel, Vortex. I don't know who else. I'm not going to go on Weeble's data. Weeble can kiss my ass. It's a fucking PFOF app. I wouldn't rely on them for up-to-date anything. Other than they want to know what your sell is and then fucking undercut you and take a percentage. Take a penny, or half a penny, or fucking 2 pennies. So she mentions the 195. That's what we've heard. My broker's still saying 862, which is up. Yesterday they were only doing 498. Friday they were doing 820. So, again, I mentioned the implied volatility. That should give you an indication of that they think the stock is going to move. Unfortunately, we had the stop loss people selling out. And now we have scalpers pegging us between 9 and 10.50 from 15 close from a high of 18. We're back. We're back to before. What day are we back to, for Christ's sakes? Ah, man. We've done a complete on the 2 hour. It looks like we've done a head and shoulders. Right back to June 10th. Friday. So, we gave up pretty much just yesterday, I guess. And all of the action on Friday. Like Friday open. It took us back to Friday open. So, we're back to Friday open. We're back to Thursday close prices. Which sucks. But just hopefully you guys can learn to swim, learn to fly, learn to fish, so that you don't have to like, subscribe, blah, 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 join the paid Discord, join the fucking, send me the Patreon, do this, do that. Always be, I can only imagine the fear. Like, I am fairly informed. Some of these other guys, fairly informed. I can only imagine the fear you have if you don't know. Like back in the day, when they thought a red moon was like fucking witchcraft. So they had to literally kill people, sacrifice them on the altar. Because they didn't know what would happen if they didn't. They thought, Vikings, thunder. They thought thunder was fucking a god, like angry or fighting. Like, can you, like, way back in the day, peasants, when they didn't even know how to read and write, or slave trade, they didn't know how to read and write, so they couldn't really. It was hard to get out of that situation, because people could communicate without them even knowing. Okay, so I can only imagine the fear of trading if you have a very low grasp of the situation you're in, or understanding some of the things going on around you. So would you rather have a YouTuber that's just, puts on a happy face even though the stock's down 35%, or that shows he's upset, angry, frustrated because some of you guys keep going in the same pattern, in the same loop, and the same shit seems to affect you guys? The stop loss crap. 16 months of this shit in every ticker. Panic selling. It's a term, and you guys are getting it. There's FOMO, fear of missing out, chasing going in, and panic selling. Quickly selling no matter the loss on the way out. Panic selling would have been me cutting 100%. Hedging my position for a further loss was shaving the 40%. That's taking profits, taking a percentage of profits, something I've been very bad with over the last 2 years, which I've been very good with the last 2 months. That's an advanced trading tool. It's a tool in your toolbox. Take some profits so that when the stock goes down 35%, your credit card's paid off. You paid the debt to your family member that lent you $2,000. You can you can be upset about what happened, but you can sleep easy knowing that the credit card company's not calling you asking you why you're past due. So I'm taking solace in the fact that thank fuck I made those decisions. Thank fuck that I said to you guys, I'll be honest, I'll tell you when I didn't dip. I'm still in it. I want to buy in, but I don't know where the fucking price is settling. Is it settling here? Do I have to wait till tomorrow to see? I will chase it. Yesterday, I bought in the after hours at 15:30 because I said I know where this is headed, and we hadn't had this stupid tweet yet. Because I didn't need to catch 14. I don't give a shit. If I'm confident in a play, I'll just enter. And you can do what's called dollar cost average. You could enter today. You could enter tomorrow. So today, if I shave my 2,900 shares, what I really could do right now is I could put back 500. If I wanted to. Okay? And right now, I don't want it. But I could. Put back 500 tomorrow, no matter which way the price goes. Around the same time. Put in another 500. The next day, another 500. The next day, another 500, and then the next until my position is back. And then what's going to happen is over those days, the stock's going to do this, and I'm just going to get an average price somewhere in the middle. I don't have to worry about catching the bottom and catching the top, panicking in either direction. FOMO is a panic move. You're panicking to get in. You're scared. It's gonna do this. I'm gonna miss it. Gonna miss the moon, guys. I need my ticket. That's a panic move. So is selling rapidly into sell pressure that's pretty much artificial and created by shorts. That's a panic move. Don't do that. Dollar cost average if you're uncertain about price action. Something I heard recently, which is the only reason I even had money for this play, was holding cash is a position. Like people are thinking, I have to buy and hold, or I have to sell, or do puts, or like short a stock, or I have to do this or that. Actually, you can simply just have money and wait and see what happens. And it blew my fucking mind to hear that, okay? Because constantly trying to get action has cost me so much money. Just feeling like if okay, 1 week, so this week, okay? Today is an example. I lost 20 grand. Any other time in the last, before the last 2 months, before that, I would have immediately been looking for, I gotta do this, I gotta make that back. It's gone. The money's gone. It's fucking gone. I have to accept it. It's gone. And what I can do is take a step back and analyze what is happening in the market. SPY is flat. A couple of the memes are up. Airlines are down. Oil and gas, some of it's up. This is up. That's down. Analyze what's out there and maybe do nothing. Maybe that's the safest bet here. Do nothing. Try not to force anything. It's only Tuesday. We have FMOC meetings. Fucking Powell, I think he's talking. Who the hell knows what's going to happen and on any given day right now, because interest rate hikes. Fear is at an all-time high. Canada is trying to talk about the 7th COVID wave. Fucking who cares? But some people care, I guess. I don't, and it's affecting things, right? So I'm just gonna just accept the loss, be happy that I took some money and paid off my credit card last week. Probably eat something unhealthy, do a little bit of indulging in some something I don't need, get myself nice and keep myself nice and fat. You know, I should be like that Teddy guy and work out instead and fucking do something positive, right? But I won't. I know myself. I get depressed. So, I don't know. I tend to babble. Looks like we're holding 10. That's great. Would have been nice to catch 890, but it could have went to 6. I don't know. I'm still in tons. You know? So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you learned something there, and I will... Let me check my email actually real quick right before I let you go and see if that girl replied. Okay, she didn't, but just one sec. Okay, sorry, I'm still dealing with Ortex and trying to get a handle on what they've released. And I also asked them about the shares again, and I mean, they're still waiting to hear back from S&P from the sounds of it. Yeah, I just read it. Really nothing to say there. If there's an update, I will I'll let you know. That one woman still has not replied back from the OCC. All right, guys, that's all I got.